Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist, where we answer your questions and where you can ask us questions and we'll give you feedback by answering them. Did I not just repeat that? I am Mr. Parkin, and I'll repeat this. I am Mr. Parkin, and I'll repeat this. This is NJ, and this is NJ.
What's up?
And he'll do it again.
What's up?
And he'll do it again.
What's up?
And he'll repeat himself.
What's up?
Because you love it.
What's up?
Anyway,
What's up?
calm down.
What's up?
Calm down.
What's up?
Calm down. Let's do a Q&A. Subscribe up above, like this video, and put your comments on the questions we've been asked. If you have any feedback on them, in that comment section down below.
But you contact us in the link in the box box below.
Delaying again, NJ. Oh,
I was about to do my WhatsApp. I thought no.
Okay. Well, also keep bringing us your questions. There's 3 options to put them in. So give your questions to us so we can answer them, because we do love doing these Q&As. And also be patient. We'll get your questions as soon as we possibly can. As NJ looks like he's doing some exercises.
Oh yeah.
Are you working out?
Oh yeah.
Trying to work off that belly?
Oh yeah.
I should be doing some working out, to be honest. Right. The first question comes from Dreamboy899. But also we had Chris Quintieros ask us the same question. So this is a joint question, I guess. They both asked us, what is your guys' dream Wrestlemania 28 card? And we have a couple of good matches in line for this one. We'll start off with what we feel could be probably the best ever technical match we could ever wish for, and that is Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle.
It'll be an epic match because obviously we know Angle's great moving the ring. Bret Hart being in his prime, so we would have gone back a few years or decades, and he would perform well, and it'd be a good match.
Technical clip. I mean, these guys. Imagine just putting these 2 guys in the ring in their prime and just saying, go out there and wrestle a great 20-minute match. Be great.
Good. Great match.
Moving on from that to Triple H versus the Ultimate Warrior. I remember at Wrestlemania, I believe Ultimate Warrior beat Triple H in about 30 seconds. And imagine this: you got Triple H, the sort of, you know, the Breakfast Club member, the sort of backstage guy who's the son-in-law of Vince McMahon, versus Ultimate Warrior, who was known for his backstage politicking. Imagine backstage of that match. No, I'm going to win. No, I'm going to win. No, I'm going to win. Imagine the backstage politics going on in this match.
And they would relive it, and they both kick each other's arse, put on a great match for the viewers to enjoy.
And the best thing about it is, it would end in a double DQ. Now I'm only joking. Just my booking there, personally. Rock versus Macho Man is another match we'd love. Just imagine you have Rock, the entertaining guy of the Attitude Era, versus Macho Man, the entertaining guy of the Golden Era. Oh.
And all I can say is, Macho Man, just bring it! Yes!
And of course, R.I.P. Macho Man. I know it happened a long time ago, but I would have, loved to have seen this match. Imagine Macho Man doing that, and then Rock going like that. The in-ring psychology between those two would be immense.
It would indeed. Good match. There we go.
Another match which we'd like to see, just because we've never seen it before, we have the main draw of this pay-per-view, which we'd have never seen before. Biggest draw ever in Hulk Hogan of the Golden Era, and the biggest draw ever of the Attitude Era, the ass-kicking Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin. Something we never ever saw, which, you know, would be great to see. 2 main draws of their respective eras.
And you have different bands behind each one of them, so it's going to be a good match overall. There'll be good crowd reaction from this on, so it'll be a good match.
Definitely so, if they were both in their primes and able to wrestle. DX versus NWO would be our tag team match. Just the 2 biggest factions and tag teams of the, you know, the WCW's version of NWO, which really shook the Monday Night Wars, and DX, which is basically WWE's version of NWO. What a great tag team match this week, just because they're both iconic in their own ways and their own from what they did.
That's very true. And NWO, suck it!
Exactly, yes. Shawn Michaels versus CM Punk is another match we'd have. Just, you know, again, just imagine what this match could do.
Because we all know that when Shawn Michaels is put into a ring with any wrestler, it's going to be a great match. Why not be put in the ring with CM Punk, put great match, bring Punk higher up to where he already is? What a great match it would be.
And both great storytellers in the ring too, so imagine the story them 2 could tell in the ring.
It would be a good match. I think it would tell a great story, and obviously they'll be built it before, but overall it'd be a good match.
In the Taker match, we'd have the match which it seems like everyone wants to see. That's Taker versus Sting. Everyone wants to see it. Why not give it to them in a Dream WrestleMania card? It
would be, yes. We talked about back a few years when they both got their health and ready for it. But I think they'll put on a great match, really dark match. I would really enjoy to see it.
Yep. Another match on the card, you know, that would be epic. But another match on the card, Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles. You know, again, another just great matchup. We're just thinking of people that could really have a great match here, and this is another great matchup.
That's true. We talk about Shawn Michaels, and if you put anyone in the ring with Chris Jericho, you know they're going to work it, make it work, even though AJ has already got the skills, the wrestling skills, so it'll be an entertaining match all the way through.
Definitely so. in our Divas match, we'd have a 4-way match: Beth Phoenix versus Trish Stratus versus Mickie James versus Lita. I know there are some older women wrestlers that I could go back to, but I think this would be probably the best wrestling match, in my opinion.
But it's got divas that we know people are going to love, like to see, love to wrestle. And we know that some good wrestlers in this match that could put on a great divas match for once.
And they could actually wrestle too.
So that's very true.
That would help. The next question, Dreamboy89 did ask us that question along with Chris Quintieros, but he asked us some other questions. He said to us, what keeps you interested in the current product? WWE and TNA. We'll start with WWE. What keeps you interested in WWE, NJ?
Well, it's just I know they brought the whole entertainment side to it, but it's still got wrestlers that I like to see. I grew up watching, wrestlers I'm still supporting, still watching, still wanting to see where they go next with their future wrestlers and ideas, so that's the reason.
I mean, the main thing for me is, the reason why I'm still interested in the product is mainly because I do these YouTube videos and I can discuss it with people such as yourself, people on the internet. I also like the whole, you never know what's going to happen next in WWE. Who knew that they were going to be doing the CM Punk thing?
Well, that whole what happens next, I know it's been watered down over the years. It's still there, but just not as strong as it used to be, which is a shame, but it's still a reason.
Exactly. Any other reasons what makes you currently interested in the product? Just because you've been supporting it for so long, haven't you?
Very true.
And I mean, I've only just got back into it, but
also, it's because it's WWE. Come on!
What about TNA? What keeps you interested in the TNA? I know the X division is a big reason that keeps me interested in TNA.
Well, my reason is kind of anti-TNA, but it's just because it's got ex-WWE wrestlers in that are doing a lot better than they did in WWE, and I'm still looking forward to seeing what they do next.
I might. This is kind of opposite to what you're saying. I do enjoy watching the TNA talents like Bobby Roode, James Storm, AJ Styles, people like that, combining with the WWE talents like Kurt Angle. I do enjoy watching the TNA talents like Bobby Roode and James Storm. I do enjoy, see what they have to offer us because we've never seen them in WWE, etc.
No.
Any other reasons why you might be interested? What about the knockouts? That's another reason why I'm kind of interested. Just because they're so much better than the Divas.
The past couple of weeks they've let me down, so it's just mainly the ex-WWE wrestlers that's keeping me entertained.
And another X in X Division. What are your top 3? Dreamboy89, by the way, go subscribe to him. Definitely do it. We forgot to mention that. What are your top 3 pay-per-views so far this year from both WWE and TNA? Well, WWE is kind of easy but hard because you have Money in the Bank and then a lot of mediocrity, in my opinion. But go on, you do yours, and you tell me what you think was the best 3.
Well, it's Money in the Bank just because it had the epic CM Punk involvement. Yep. Then we had the Royal Rumble because it's the first point in Royal Rumble. The way they did it was nicely done, not many mistakes in that. Then I'm going to say SummerSlam just because the build, forget about that. The matches were actually entertaining and I liked it, so I thought it was kind of a good SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy Money in the Bank a lot. Royal Rumble was another pay-per-view from personal preference that I did enjoy. The Rumble match always offers you something. For me, I can't really decide on my third. The rest of them just reeked of mediocrity, in my opinion. So I'm just going to stick with 2, and that's all I can really do. And then for TNA, I think TNA have had 3, in my opinion, standout pay-per-views this year. Number 1 has got to be Destination X. The 6-sided ring, the contract match, the Ultimate X, the Daniels AJ match. So the concentration on the X division, rebirth of that. It was a good pay-per-view, I thought.
That's what it's needed because obviously this was roughly when I just started watching it. Yep. But they did have to sort out the X division and make it work again.
They did. And you also had Slammiversary as well. I know that they've not had King of the Mountain, but I do feel this is one of TNA's more solid pay-per-views of the year, Slammiversary.
Slammiversary is a draw. It's what TNA build up to and want the crowd to enjoy and give good ratings for, so yeah.
It's one of their big 4, so it's got to be good. Another one for me, this is before you started watching, but I did. Oh, you did watch this pay-per-view, didn't you? Another one for me was Lockdown. You had Jarrett, Kurt Angle, the Lethal Lockdown match. There was some decent matches in there. Pope, Samoa Joe, Ricky James fucking up Madison Rain in 30 seconds to a minute. It was a good pay-per-view. I did enjoy Lockdown a lot. I think the comparison that I'd make here is I think Lockdown was a lot better than WrestleMania from a personal standpoint, watching it and judging the product, etc.
Well, Lockdown, obviously, is another one they have to build up to make sure the crowd's with it and ready for it.
Isn't it?
So I'm going to say, to be honest, the build, it may have lacked in some areas, but the entertainment building up to it was good. The pay-per-view definitely did not disappoint.
Yeah, and also you've got the cage matches as well. So,
there we go.
If you guys have any different opinions, let us know in that comment section down below. We want to know your thoughts on this. Next question we got asked is, if you can make 3 major changes in both WWE and TNA, what would they be? Well, we'll start with WWE.
When I look at WWE, the main thing I'm looking at is when it comes up to the pay-per-views, again, the build is not quite strong there. It's got, yes, it announces matches, but the matches are normally last minute, out the blue, or just not enough build for us to actually want to enjoy and see it.
Developing stars, I think, is another thing that WWE really need to do, because I don't think they have the strength in roster that they used to do.
No, because you have all these new wrestlers coming in, the crowd's not really behind them, and the WWE wonder why they're not getting high ratings for the matches. There you go.
You think the belt should mean a lot more, don't you?
Well, I look at it and I'm thinking, like, Del Rio, you booked him up since Royal Rumble, meant to become the champ. And then when he comes to champ, he's blown it. There's nothing there. And then you have the US Championship. See, there's loads of examples how the belts just are not meaning as much as they should do.
Exactly. In my opinion, I would go down more the writing route. In my opinion, just get rid of these Hollywood scriptwriters, bring in people that know wrestling. Just that's what I would want to change anyway.
Well, the problem with that is now they're going to the whole entertainment era. Things do have to change from the way you want it to be.
Yeah,
I guess.
I know.
Yeah, sadly.
Thanks for that. Thanks for burying me on camera, NJ. Right, what about TNA? Yeah, so with TNA, there's a couple of different problems. The roster's pretty well done. I think they have a pretty well-rounded roster. But I think the marketing of their product isn't the best that it could be, in my opinion. And I would want to go down the road, getting them out of the Impact Zone every now and then a bit more often, maybe some pay-per-views out there. Just the marketing of the product, getting advertisements out there, letting people know about the product a little bit more. That's one thing I'll try and change about TNA.
That's a really good point. And the other one I was looking at is like some of the matches, they seem to swerve the wrong way, end stupidly, not cleanly, and as people call it, the Russo booking. And I really think it's really affecting the show, the TV, the pay-per-views. Just affecting.
I'm hoping now that Russo is out and Pritchard is in that will change, but that thing will only be done with time. It takes time to really get those kind of things sorted. Also, pay-per-view importance over TV show importance. I think that TNA really need to focus a lot more on their pay-per-views, kind of similar to what WWE do, so they can draw proper money from proper buy rates from their pay-per-views.
Because the big example is when Angle beat Rude, and then at the next night. Title change, yes. That's a big example of how they're making the show after the pay-per-view more important than the pay-per-view.
And who the hell's going to buy the pay-per-view when they can watch everything on free TV? That's a major problem, and it's Eric Bischoff's mainly WCW ratings philosophy that's doing this. So there's another thing will change. But anyway, if you guys have any other things you think you'd change about the product that you want to have done, get them in that comment section down below. Like we said, we want to hear your thoughts. How would you guys book Rock versus John Cena going into WrestleMania 28? Well, I think the first thing, we start off with Survivor Series. Well, I would have turned Rock heel.
Well, it's going to be hard to turn the Rock heel just because he's got the millions of fans behind him. But obviously, with Cena being the kid lover and all that, compared to the Rock, Rock would be the right one to turn heel.
You'd turn him heel in a major way to really develop that rivalry, and then you'd have Cena enter a program with someone. It's going to be filler, whatever you say, and then maybe have Rock eliminate Cena from the Royal Rumble, like via interference, and then appear on Raw, the occasional Raw coming up to WrestleMania. He's going to need to appear on Raw coming into WrestleMania, maybe even have something to do with Elimination Chamber. We don't really know. But he needs to be on Raw now going into WrestleMania, doesn't he?
Because to be honest, we've got months between now and WrestleMania. Rock does need to make more appearances for actually the feud to actually be a bit more stronger, have a bit more story behind it. So yes, it would.
The next question he asked us was a very interesting one. Why are you guys awesome and better than Off the Rope Show? This was actually his question, and he ended it with LOL. So why are we awesome and better than Off the Rope Show?
Well, to be honest, it comes down to this.
What do you mean?
That's just I'm trying not to say anything.
Okay.
If I was to say something, I'll say Off the Rope Show, your videos are great, but they're not compared to ours.
Hot shotting like Ziggler and fucking Miz.
Yeah, we have a bit of competition in our videos. If you watch their videos, they say stuff about us, so we say stuff about them.
Off the Rope Show are a very good YouTube channel, and I would like to think that we were too. So
That's very true. Yes.
There we go. The next set of questions come from Mr. Marvel Fan 101. How would you have booked the CM Punk conspiracy angle? Well, he took the belt after Money in the Bank. You had this whole angle where he was off TV. Why did they not keep him off TV for like a couple more weeks? I know they had to build to SummerSlam, but to really make this real, you could have kept him on TV for at least a little bit longer. That's what I would have done. Having, trashing with these Comic Cons, WWE press conferences and stuff.
Oh, I guess that's true, but it's all about ratings. But the other thing I would have done is when he came back, thank God he came back, obviously the WWE ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
Then they had him go against Triple H. Triple H, my favourite. We've seen him work well as a face and a heel. But in this storyline, the heel would have worked.
I mean, you got CM Punk against the establishment. Triple H was the COO. I would have turned him heel personally. I don't buy into all this bullshit they had to get him over as a babyface with the whole walkout stuff. I would have very simply have turned him heel. Triple H is a very effective heel. Have him be the heel COO and have CM Punk feud with the COO, kind of like Austin, McMahon.
Well, they started that, but it didn't last as long as it could have done to actually mean something. So they dropped the ball there.
Drag it on. I don't know anything. Well, that's that. And now we have another question. What would your WrestleMania 28 card be with the current roster? And I think we have to have Cena versus Rock because that is the main draw of WrestleMania, isn't it?
Yeah,
logically speaking.
Yeah.
Punk versus Miz for the WWE title. There's some real life heat between these two. And, the match and the promos between those two. We saw a little bit on Raw, didn't we?
It's just like the promos, but their wrestling skills are not the same, but they could both perform great in the ring against each other.
Yeah, Mark Henry and Sheamus is a match I think should be done for the World Heavyweight Championship. Just because Sheamus is this next massive Batista-like babyface, and I think that Mark Henry's the right guy for him to take the belt off at a WrestleMania. It would be a very defining win for him.
Because we've seen Mark Henry, whenever they've faced each other in the past, it's never ended clean. Yeah. So I'm thinking when they go to WrestleMania, they're going to have their match when it's going to determine who the actual winner is and the new World Heavyweight Champion or the old.
Who knows? Daniel Bryan may even cash in Money in the Bank because he's not going to be booked on this pay-per-view. Why would WWE book him on a WrestleMania, right?
No, you need.
Taker versus Barrett, I think. I know it's not the biggest opponent for Taker, but Taker did say he wanted to work a program with Wade Barrett, and I wouldn't mind seeing it. And they're actually building him up quite well now, so why not have Undertaker versus Wade Barrett at WrestleMania 28?
True, there's many choices who can go against Taker, so if you have any other thoughts, please share them below, but my personal preference would be Barrett, so they can relive that thing, the attack he did.
Yep.
They can have Barrett get the rise from Taker. I thought it would be a good match.
Beth versus Karma would probably be our favourite Divas match to have, just because, well, Beth versus Karma really just right itself, doesn't it?
We have the strong, dominant Beth versus the dominant, crybaby Karma.
Crybaby Karma. US title match would be Ziggler versus Riley. I would love WWE to relive this whole Riley face turn thing and how they've done it, which is why I would have that at WrestleMania. I mean, they never really went anywhere with it, did they? They never really finished it clean.
And Riley just need to push back into the WWE because fans love him, but they're just not using him.
Yeah. Interbrand match next. I think we need to get Orton and Del Rio on the card, so why not have them in an interbrand match?
It would be, because it's something interesting. Raw versus SmackDown, we haven't seen that really properly in a while, so why not use it at WrestleMania?
And then IC Championship match. Me and Angela have different opinions about this, but you wanted to do Ted versus Cody. You wanted to see that match. Why did you want to see it?
Just to bring Ted back, because obviously we've got months to WrestleMania. Bring him back up, have him important, have him so fans actually want to see him wrestle, have him go against Cody. Cody would obviously win because they're not ready yet. Yep. But I think it'd be a good match.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Orton versus Rhodes. I know we've seen it before, but for that IC title and have Rhodes win that match. Just from a personal standpoint, that's what I would like to see for the IC Championship, and it really would make that IC Championship stand out on that card.
But again, Cody versus Orton, who's going to win?
Cody, of course, because I'm a Cody Rhodes number one, and I can have wishful thinking, NJ. Come on. The next question he asked us was, what is your favourite monster? And I think this is an obvious one for you, NJ.
Oh, the ones that, live under your bed. Not really. The green monster, green energy, monster energy.
Favourite monster? What about Kane?
Oh, WWE-wise, yes. I
don't know what he means, whether he means drink or whether he means WWE.
But Kane is the monster overall, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll leave that there then.
Indeed.
Guys, thank you very much for sending in your questions to us. If you guys have any thoughts on some of the questions, especially those dream cards we've done and how we would have booked ... get them in that comment section down below so you can tell us what you think, and keep sending your questions to us too. And NJ, go.
Thank you very much for listening to our Q&A. We've made this entertaining as much as we can. And after all, I'm sure you don't take offence. We were just saying what was needed. And all I can say now, from the British Fist, which is Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, goodbye.